Hello everyone, welcome to Korean Law 101. I'm Hyunju An.
Hi, this is Yoon Hyung-ju, and we are lawyers practicing in Korea, working with the foreign expats.
How are you doing?
Pretty good, but it's so hot today, and I sweat a lot. I hate summer. How are you?
It's hot and we stay inside all day long. So my kids are stuck in the home and they cannot run or jump. So
That's true.
It's been a really hard time for all of us.
So you also live in an apartment,
Yes.
right? Me too. And so maybe today's issue is also related with this topic, right?
Yes. Today I'd like to talk about how to deal with noisy apartment neighbors.
That's a huge headache.
Yeah.
And I think that everybody in Korea also have the same experience, like especially during the COVID-19 situation. Most of the kids stayed at home whole day, and some of them can't stop, moving inside. So, and often we have like some tension between neighbors due to this increasing noise problem.
Yes, that's true. According to the January survey by the Korean Environment Corporation, 한국환경공단, the complaint submitted to the corporation or to the 층간소음 이웃사이 center has doubled last year.
Oh, it's doubled.
Yes.
Yeah, and also this year too, like the COVID is still everywhere. So
Yeah, so many of the apartment has displayed flyers or announcements saying that discipline your kids not to run,
Yes,
just
right.
only walking feet, and they don't stop making noise at home, or do not use treadmill late at night.
Treadmill late at night.
Do
I
you have
something to
something?
tell you.
Okay.
My neighborhood is also living upstairs of mine, and actually she or he used the treadmill at the exactly midnight
Oh my.
for about an hour, and she or he did a home training kind of thing, I think. So almost it lasted 1 hour, and my kid was sleeping deeply at her room, and I was very nervous on that.
Yeah, sure.
So do we have that kind of any standard of noise which is unbearable? Like, is there any standard?
Yes, we have a guideline for the common residential buildings. It's stipulated in the regulation for the scope and standard for common residential buildings noise. It's like 공동주택 층간소음의 범위와 기준에 관한 규칙. It varies a little depending on the time and situation, but the permitted range of noise level is around 40 to 50 decibel.
40 to 50. Yeah, I know that because I also had the same experience, and I found that level with how loud is it, and 40 decibel is like if you use the high level of a vacuum cleaner, that's 40 decibel, and 50 is your kid is running here and there, and that makes a 50 decibel noise.
So then daily noise is kind of within the range of reasonable level of
Yes,
noise.
that's under 35 or 30 decibel level, so it's a bearable sound, I think. But during that noise, actually, if the range is the
괜찮아요.
자, 여기서 한번 자르고.
네.
So,
좀 잠깐만, 이게 컷이 돼야 돼. 네, 하세요.
so if the level of the sound is too high, then can I directly visit the upstairs neighbor? Is there any legal? Some says it is illegal to visit the neighbor directly to make a complaint. Is it true?
Yeah, I heard that a lot. The answer is it's not illegal to visit the neighbors to make complaint. You can visit the family upstairs. You can go and knock on their door or ring a bell gently. Or you can also visit downstairs to say that I'm sorry for the noise. it's all fine. But if you bang on the door or like yell at night to make complaints, it can be problematic.
So
Also, there is like something that you should be aware of. In Korea, we have a crime called 주거침입죄, illegal entrance to the residence. So don't try to enter your neighbor's residence against their will, or like try the passcode to enter their residence.
But if the noise doesn't stop, and if I want to keep doing some kind of complaints to the neighbors directly, I actually sometimes call to the management office, but no situation improves. So I want to just do some complaints that constantly or many times a day. Is it illegal? Is there any legal action that I can do or the opposite side can do?
So you can visit your neighbors to make complaints. It's okay, but if you like keep visiting them constantly all day long or at night, it can be punished as a misdemeanor by the criminal law.
Misdemeanor.
Yes, because you're like harassing them or like annoying them. But if you are a neighbor who has that kind of visitor all day, what can you do? Then you can request a 접근 금지 명령, restraining order, to prevent him or her from approaching you or your residence.
So if the level of the noise reaches beyond the tolerable level, can I file the lawsuit against the neighbor to get the monetary compensation for my emotional distress?
Yes. You can file a lawsuit for the medical expense if you had to see the doctors due to migraine or stress. Also, for your emotional distress, you can ask the compensation. To prove your noise, you might want to record a sound with your phone or with a recorder, or have the technician professionals to come to your place and estimate the decibel level of the sound. The noise should be worse than those like tolerable level.
So if it is over the tolerable level, then how much money can I get? Like, is there any precedents?
The compensation that you can get varies depending on the situation, like how long it has lasted, like how frequently, whether it was a night or a day, things like that. But let me just give you one example. In 2017, one family moved to the first floor of the apartment. When they complained about the stomping sound coming from upstairs, the neighbor upstairs started to get revenge. So they created unidentified mechanical noise to harass the neighbors downstairs. So the court granted the damage award of 5 million won for the family on the first floor.
5 million won.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's a lot of money, but for the emotional distress that I already had, that's not enough, I think. So it should be a little more.
Yeah, me too.
So anyhow, some people say they just cannot stand the sound anymore. Like 5 million won is nothing for me. I just want to move out immediately. So in that case, if I just move out from the site, can I still file a damage lawsuit against my ex-neighbor?
Yes, you can. We had a similar case last year. One family could not stand the noise any longer, so they even had to break their lease contract and left the house.
See.
Yeah, so they found a new place. In that case, the neighbors downstairs made noise and vibration with the devices, and the family upstairs suffered anxiety and depression, and they had to kind of move out to just live, maintain their life. The court found that the reason the family left the unit was due to the revenge noise made by the neighbors and their constant complaints, and granted the damage award to recover their 1 year rent that they had to pay to break the contract, and also some compensation for the emotional distress.
Oh, that's reasonable. Yeah, so I cannot stand anymore, and if it can be proved, then yeah, 1 year rent is reasonable compensation, I think.
Yeah.
So to resolve these kind of issues, what do you recommend if the expats have this trouble with the Korean neighbors?
In Korea, we usually do not directly visit the neighbors to make complaint or call them directly. Usually, we communicate indirectly through the management office or 경비실, where the security guards work. So please do not visit them directly, but use the management office to communicate.
Yeah, I heard that lots of cases happen here and there. They just directly go to their neighbors and they make some kind of a very
unhappy incidents because they got very the emotional got escalated, and yeah. So can you give us some examples about that?
So some case some altercation got heated by the neighbor's visit, and there was a physical attack between them. They also had to go to the hospital and got required medical treatment after the fight. So most of the reason that we advise you to refrain from visiting is to avoid escalation of the emotion and inappropriate physical contact.
Right, because once you have some tension between neighbors, it's something very hard to handle.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
right. That point.
So I just also had the same experience I told you, and I actually directly called to the management office or 경비실, and they try to settle the issues.
Great.
So, is there any committee by the government, run by the government, that we can use for these kind of issues?
Yes. You can use the 층간소음분쟁위원회, Floor Noise Dispute Settlement Committee that's run by the government. If you don't think you can resolve the dispute yourself with your neighbors, you can seek help from the professionals. You can request mediation at the committee that's specialized in noise issues. They address not only the noise regarding the common residential building, but all noise related issues like the noise from the industrial complex, factory, or the excessive use of microphones on the street as well. Yes.
And I heard that also there is the center that we can use, and it's a floor noise settlement center managed by the Korean Environment Corporation, and it also has a call center.
Great.
And do you remember the number?
Can you give us the number?
It's a 1661. And what was it?
1661
2642. There it is.
2642.
2642, and that's Korean actually based service. So if you cannot speak Korean well, then you can ask your friend to explain all the situation and get the service. Or you can simply visit the www.noiseinfo.kr or noise info.kr. Then they provide English service for you.
Oh, great. Then it would be better to visit the site.
Yes.
It was noiseinfo.or.kr. And then the center that you were talking about was 층간소음 이웃사이 Center.
Yes.
So if you have some Korean friends who can help you, then it would be good to also call them.
Yeah, so that's it for today, right?
Yes.
So I hope you don't have this kind of you don't get involved in these issues, but if you have some problem, this information we provided today was helpful.
Yeah, I hope so. So we'll come back with good information next time. If you have any questions or any legal issues that you are curious about, then just leave a comment below, then we'd be happy to address that next time.
Thank you for listening. Bye bye.
Bye. 그리고